What's up, my comic comrades? Today we're continuing to cover the epic Justice League vs. Godzilla vs. Kong 7-issue miniseries, and we're breaking down the second to last issue of the series, issue 6. The story is really ramping up with this issue, setting up everything for the final showdown that's going to take place in issue 7, between the DC universe and the Monsterverse. There's also a few surprises along the way, so let's get into it. Alright, so if you remember in the last issue, Superman is still dying, Supergirl and Kong are being controlled by Grodd with kryptonite, Aquaman was able to chain down Godzilla with Nith Metal, Lex Luthor rebuilt Mechagodzilla, and Ra's al Ghul is dropping a Skullcrawler skull into his Lazarus pit, clearly creating something not friendly. With those brief highlights from issue 5, let's get into issue 6. The issue starts off with our heroes in the Justice League Watchtower, as Cyborg says, "I wish I could say the worst is behind us, but the data tells us our troubles are just beginning. Superman is down, Supergirl is missing, and Shazam is likely a hostage of the Legion of Doom. We are no closer to finding Toyman and the Dreamstone than we were a week ago." Aquaman says, "But it's not all bad news. The Atlantis dome repair and reinforcement is almost complete. It'll be ready for another attack." Cyborg then says we could also confirm the beacon that drew Godzilla and Tiamat to Atlantis was constructed with LexCorp tech and likely planted by associates of Black Manta. They also tell the League the greatest Titan threat, Godzilla, is trapped in the depths of the ocean by Nth Metal chains that he has not been able to break. But even with the so-called King of Monsters off the board, Flash points out they've got 3 more headed from Metropolis, so capturing Godzilla doesn't feel like a victory right now. Green Arrow then says we could also confirm via a surveillance sweep of Skull Island that Kong's whereabouts are currently unknown. Nightwing then sarcastically says, "So we lost track of a 300-foot gorilla and the League of Assassins?" Wonder Woman then tells them we must prepare for the worst. I suspect they won't be missing for long, and spoiler, she's right. Batman then, being Batman, tells everyone we'll be ready. The Titans are headed to Metropolis, paths are being cleared to minimize damage, and the city is being evacuated. Make whatever final preparations you need to get ready. We make our stand at Sentinel Park. So clearly Batman has something planned, and we know exactly what that is as we saw him build some giant mech suit in the last issue. Basically his version of Mechagodzilla, it seems. Nightwing and Batman then check on Superman, with Nightwing saying, "Still can't believe it. Superman? I mean, he's the guy, right? A safety net for all of us, for the whole world." Batman says he was caught off guard protecting Shazam. It can happen to anyone. Cyborg then comes in saying Batgirl called in. They're ready for us, with Batman looking on at his friend saying, "I'll meet you there." I really like how this book is playing up the fact that Batman is utterly heartbroken that Superman is on death's doorstep. It really drives home how much he cares for Supes, and he's not gonna give up on him. But also defending him, being like, yeah, he's like the strongest being on Earth, but this could happen to anyone, okay? Nobody's perfect. Batman's not even letting Nightwing, his son basically, take digs at the Man of Steel. Anyway, the comic then focuses on Lois Lane, who of course is sleeping by Clark's bedside. But when she wakes up, she says, Clark, where are you?" as he's gone. Now, we all assumed that by the end of the story, Clark was going to come back and help save the day, but exactly what is happening? Did he leave on his own? Did somebody take him? I don't know. What I do know is the book then takes us to the Legion of Doom, where Black Manta is telling Lex Luthor on a video call, Grodd is still missing, but the Legion of Doom is boarding now. We'll all be there. That said, I don't like you summoning us with the Titans. We're not your soldiers. We are a collective. Luthor tells them, relax. I did not summon the monsters. The beacon activated on its own. But there's little point in prolonging the inevitable destruction of the Justice League. Manta says without the Dreamstone to wish them back when they're done with the Justice League, we'll be next. But Luthor says no, with Godzilla missing and Mechagodzilla at my disposal, I am the apex Titan. They will bow down to me. We've known for a little bit that Luthor was rebuilding Mechagodzilla, but can I just say this is the most Luthor thing ever? Of course Luthor would want a giant robotic Titan to have other giant monsters obey him. Why wouldn't he? But on the flip of that, he sees something as he's leading the Titans into the city and says, that's interesting. Of course the Batman builds his own giant robot. That's not to say Luthor is shocked, because he knows Batman is a problem solver. He ain't gonna sit there and just take it. He's gonna figure his way out of any situation. But before we continue, you gotta check out this awesome new website building feature from today's sponsor, Hostinger. If you've ever wanted to create a website but have no web mastery skills, Hostinger offers an easy website creation experience with their AI website builder. This AI is so helpful, even John Connor would love it. Just head to hostinger.com/variant. You have various plans, but I suggest the business plan, as it includes all the AI tools you could dream of. The price is still super affordable, and if you use code VARIANT, you'll get an extra 10% off. So just to give you a quick demonstration, we'll hop on and do an online store because we need that comic spending money. And get this, Hostinger takes nothing off your sales. Anyway, I'll use Hostinger's website builder to let their AI do all the heavy lifting. Then we answer 3 questions to generate a fully professional website with copy and images. And bingo, the layout is there in the time it takes me to eat a sandwich. Then you can customize it with the drag and drop editor and access their AI features to spice it up. Personally, my favorite feature is the AI logo maker, but the cherry on top is that all this costs less than $3 a month and includes a free domain. So if you're ready to start your online business or take your existing business online to increase your hiring potential, head to hostinger.com/variant and use our promo code variant to get an exclusive 10% discount on all yearly plans. Now, jumping back into the story, in the next panel, we see several Leaguers and the Green Lanterns come insane. We have a few surprises for you too. Batman says, you think you can control these Titans, but you're wrong. All you've done is put a lot of innocent lives at risk. This ends now. As we see that he has the Flash and Cyborg co-piloting the giant robot for him, with Flash giving it speed as it's connected to the cosmic treadmill, and Cyborg making sure all the electronics work properly. Batman then takes Luthor, Aquaman and Hawkgirl take Tiamat, Wonder Woman and Wonder Girl take on Behemoth, and the Lanterns take on the Crab Spider, as Simon Baz says. The crazy thing about all of this is that the Green Lanterns assemble, making their own Green Lantern construct robot called Green Lantern Robo, with each of the Lanterns constructing a part of the robot, effectively making a Green Lantern Megazord. Now, for the next few pages, it's just bashing and smashing, all-out war between the DC universe and the Monsterverse. It's pretty amazing, and I'm gonna say this even though the story is not over yet, this needs to be an animated movie based just purely on how fun this would be to watch. In any case, Damian Wayne, Robin, and Red Hood show up in the Batwing ready to assist as they engage an upgrade they've made, which we see is apparently turning the Batwing into a transformer as it goes robot mode, holding a gun blasting Tiamat. Literally think about this. Out of nowhere, they're just like, you know what? The Batwing's got an upgrade. It's now a transformer. No warning, no build up, just like, hey man, it is what it is. So in this issue, we get a Green Lantern Megazord, a 300-foot tall Batman mech, so clearly the Batwing needs to be a transformer. I'm not complaining. I think this is awesome. I'm just pointing it out because, again, this needs to be made into an animated movie. It's just fun. But in any case, back to where I was. Red Hood and Damian Wayne in their Transformer Batwing continue to attack Tiamat, unloading gunfire on this Titan, helping out Hawkgirl. But just when the Justice League is getting the upper hand, Gorilla Grodd arrives with his kryptonite-controlled Supergirl and Kong. And Supergirl comes in giving a Supergirl punch to Wonder Girl, with Wonder Woman being like, hey, what's gotten into you? The Green Lanterns say, wait, the Monarch files say Kong is supposed to be on our side. So is Supergirl over there. I'm thinking they've switched sides. They then quickly realize that Gorilla Grodd is mind controlling them. Now, Kong is one of the strongest Titans there is, so you definitely want him on your side. But since he's not currently on the Justice League side, he rips off the arm that Guy Gardner is forming and controlling for the Green Lantern Megazord. Guy Gardner now on the floor is like, ouch, that's gonna leave a mark. Sorry to disappoint you, but I'll live. John Stewart says, get back up here, we need you. He responds, in a second, after I get some payback on these little monkeys. Someone screams, watch out, but it's too late. Gorilla Grodd stomps Guy's head into the ground, killing him, with Hal Jordan confirming, saying, Grodd killed him. Yeah, this is kind of crazy. I didn't think they were gonna kill anyone off in this series. This series isn't in the main DC continuity, but nonetheless, I just, for whatever reason, didn't see it coming. Now, at this point, Gorilla Grodd commands Supergirl and Kong to finish the Lanterns, but Aquaman comes in with a superhero landing, saying, I won't let that happen. To which Grodd responds, kill Fish Man too. Aquaman tells him, you're welcome to try, as a plethora of heroes rally behind him, with Kid Flash speed blitzing Grodd with multiple punches, as we see Batman in his robot suit taking on Mechagodzilla. Kong then assists Luthor, taking Batman down. But Beast Boy says, this Kong ain't got nothing on me, as he transforms into a giant ape as well, punching Kong across the face. Supergirl comes in with the assist, punching Beast Boy in the back of the head. Hal Jordan then tells the rest of the Green Lanterns, we gotta do something about Supergirl. She's going to pick us off one by one. John Stewart says, it's Grodd. Look at the green rock in his crown. It's kryptonite. Green Arrow then says, that's how he's mind controlling Kara. But not for long, as he shoots an arrow at Grodd's kryptonite crown, but Grodd just catches it, saying, you think a mere arrow can stop me? At this point, gunfire knocks the crown off Grodd's head, with someone saying, how about a 50 cal? As we see, it's Red Hood and Damian Wayne in the Transformer Batwing for the win. Damian then says, great shot to Red Hood, because clearly it was Red Hood who made the shot. Supergirl then snaps out of it, saying, Kong, no, I think we've been on the wrong side. Simon and Hal say, because of Grodd, he killed Guy, but he's down and you're back on our side. With Wonder Woman saying, just in time, we've got more company, the League of Assassins, and something much, much worse. As she points to several skull crawlers and one massive one, which is clearly the one that Ra's al Ghul made by dropping a skull crawler's skull into the Lazarus pit. And let me just say, this makes the Alpha skull crawler that Kong fought at the end of Skull Island look like a kid. I mean, this thing has got like bone football shoulder pads with spikes on it, and spikes going all all down its back and stomach. It's crazy. Elsewhere, we see a streak of light dive into the ocean and head towards Godzilla, who is still chained at the bottom of the ocean. And on the last page, we see it's Superman who's alive and well once again, getting ready to square up against Godzilla, saying, "We have unfinished business," as Godzilla starts charging up, welcoming the fight. And that brings issue 6 to an end, but man, did a lot happen. First and foremost, we finally get to see Batman in his Titan Buster, as I'm going to dub it, which is really dope as we're getting to see Batman pilot his own massive mech to battle Mechagodzilla. It's like the most Saturday morning cartoon thing ever, and I'm here for it. Speaking of, right after this, we get Green Lantern Robo, as it's dubbed. It's essentially a Lantern Construct version of the Megazord, which yet again is the most Saturday morning kids show thing ever. In fact, they teased Batman's Titan Buster in the previews way before the first issue even came out, so we knew that was coming. But this Lantern Megazord construct was never teased, so this is the one that's mind-blowing to me. It even takes 5 people to pilot it, just like the Megazord. And on top of that, we get to see it fight Kong. It fits so well because the Power Rangers fight giant kaiju all the time, so this is right in that wheelhouse. Another nutty thing is they killed Guy Gardner. Gorilla Grodd straight up smashes his face into the concrete, which is a very brutal way to kill someone. I'm just curious if they're gonna find a way to bring him back in the next issue. But also, why the hell is Ra's al Ghul getting in on this? Because though we know he's the one who created this massive skull crawler, we haven't got a lick of dialogue from him yet. So we don't really know what his motivation is unless it's his normal eradicate most of humanity approach. Also, this issue went full Transformers, giving us a Batwing Transformer. Tell me you wouldn't buy that Transformer if they made it. Anyone would buy a Batwing Transformer. And finally, as we all assumed, Superman is back for the final boss fight, although I think his rematch with Godzilla is going to be very brief, only for him to free Godzilla so both of them can team up against Mechagodzilla and the rest of the Titans. With the series ending with Superman and the Justice League figuring out how to send Godzilla and the rest of the Titans back to their Earth. There's one other thing I wanted to touch on. A few weeks back in DC's previews, they revealed that for the final issue, Kong will become a Green Lantern. And now we know how that's gonna happen. Since Guy Gardner died in this issue, we now know he's going to get Guy's ring, as Guy's ring is clearly going to be looking to choose a new Lantern, and it's gonna choose Kong, which is nuts. I cannot wait to see what kind of Green Lantern constructs he makes. You know one of them has to be his battle axe. Oh, I am so down for this. But there you have it, friends, the breakdown of issue 6 of Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. Other than that, let us know what you think of the series so far and what you hope to see in the finale. But we'll see you next time when we talk about all things comics.